Working with layers is one of the most important parts of Photoshop. What we want to do is we've got the left hand side here which we're aiming for, and on the right hand side we need to rearrange some of the elements to match it. Let me just zoom in, so Control and plus, and then I'm just going to move down a little bit. So one of the first things we can look at with layers is we have two different types. We've got layers themselves and we've also got groups. Now groups look like little folders, and if I click on the arrow here I can see that there's actually layers inside that group. I can also play with the visibility, so I can just turn them on and off just by clicking on the visibility icon next to the individual layer or group. I can move down and I can actually use it to find out what layer I'm looking at. It's normally at the last resort. You should be naming your layers like we've done here, so you shouldn't have to keep turning them on and off again. But it is a way of finding out which layer you want to play with. Now, first of all, we're going to move the circle layer above the square, like the instructions. So let's find the circle layer, which we found here. Now what I have to do is drag and drop. Now you'll see that a line appears, and that's where it will be placed when I let go. So if I just let go like that, there we go. Very, very easy. Another way of doing it is actually Control and sort of angle brackets. They're just next to P. So if you play with those, you can actually use that shortcut to move things very, very quickly. This happens a lot, this next part. We want to move the text above the picture. So let's go for picture and text on the right hand side. And what we need to do is rearrange these. Now, like I said, we can do it using the shortcut, or we simply drag and drop, just like that. Very easy. But one of the things that does confuse people, especially, is when you start to write behind a layer and you can't actually see what you're writing. So just have a look at the layer order, and that might give you your answer. The thing that happens when you're using Photoshop for web design is you get a lot of layers. So one of the things that we want to be able to do is group them, and that means we can group things like headers and footers all together. So let's do this navigation here. So we have contact, portfolio, services, about and home. They're all individual bits of text. Okay? So to move this together and group them, all we have to do is select the top one, hold down Shift, and then select the bottom one. Now if you want to unselect specific ones, hold down Control or Command if you're on a PC, and you can deselect the ones that you don't want, or select additional ones that you do want. So if you want to select something from sort of top to bottom and everything in between, use Shift, and if you want to select specific ones, use Control. So now what we need to do is group them. Now the best way to do this is use the shortcut, which is Control and G, and that groups them. So just double click on the group name and we can call this nav. Now another way of making a folder is just here. It's this little icon at the bottom, and click. But it doesn't group what you've got selected, so you have to actually physically put things inside here to be able to do that. So if you want to move things inside a group, all you have to do is just click and drag and then let go. Click and drag and let go, like that. Now you'll see that where the line appears is very important. See where it lands. Okay? And I can actually right click and delete this group now and call this one nav main or something like that. So I'm just showing you there how to move between groups and also how to create groups. So remember, select what you want by holding down Shift and Control and G.